The journey has been tough and the wait has been long, but ultimately the longest journey is drawing closer to the end. It is a moment to put all the words into action and a moment to write history. A warm welcome to you all to the KG5 Mini Stadium in Banjul. It is that moment supporters and spectators have been waiting for, and ultimately the league final has arrived as the two teams walk onto the pitch for the 2023 Banjul Norwegian League Cup final as they chase their first trophy in the history of this particular Norwegian. One Love will be locking horns with Firehouse to see which team will first write their name in the history books of the Banjul Sports Committee. The lineups are out. The teams are on the lineup, waiting for the pre-match formalities before they will go ahead with the kickoff here to actually clear all the doubts, to actually clear all the anticipations and expectations. One Love started with Ibrahim Adrame as their goalkeeper, Umar Juf number 13, Abdul Toure number 19, Abdul Fatah Jallo number 6, Modu El Sedikan number 18, Amai Seka number 3, Dasugu Farah number 8, Malik Jallo number 10, Ma Ansun Jai number 14, Mamadou Jao Jallo number 7, and Saliu Jallo number 4 completes the lineup for One Love. That is the pre-match formalities. We have Ibu Fai. We have members of the Regional Sports Committee, the President of Banjul Sports Committee, among a host of dignitaries, shaking the hands of the players before the central referee will get us on the way here. Firehouse started with Abdul Rahman Salah as their goalkeeper in between the woodwork. Ibrahim Gay number 4, Modlamin Kujabi number 5, Pa Assis Sise number 3, Ibrahim Fati number 6, Aliu Job number 8, Keba Sise number 15, Chornagay Sar number 18, Falu Cham number 11, and Musa Marong number 10 completes the lineup for Firehouse. On the substitute bench of the two teams, starting with One Love, we have Dim Sow, Usman Koka, Amadou Jeng, Panjai, Isido Jaju, Sol Derry, Babukar Job, Ibrahim Adrame, and Sehtijan Jai. For Firehouse, the players they have on their bench for any eventualities. Abdullah Fall, Adaman Dong, Ablai Jallo, Modu Dabo, Alajin Jai, Musa Toure, Sam Uche, Hamodu Sar, and Malik Samba. Those are the players on the bench for Firehouse. One of the teams celebrated a glory yesterday. That was Ajax. They defeated Warriors by a goal to nil to clinch the Knockout Cup title. And today, we will see a league champion being crowned here when One Love and Firehouse actually lock horns for this league final. I am Farmer Abaji, and I will be assisted in today's commentary by Sidhu Sane and Sehtijan Gay, who has been following the Banjul Norwegian close enough than any one of us. He will be one of our analysts as we first go with the national anthem of the country that in somehow has been a tradition. Whenever there is a football final, they will first observe the national anthems before the games will get underway. So it appears we'll go with the national anthem before the kickoff will be taken here.
National anthem of the Gambia, sebentar lagu nasi leban ayana, leban ya, wow, mana frase lalu lagi, mana frase frase, orang, ya si leban ayana re, coli ya kita restart mati ya, apa tu perlu sakit lah. Kanyari TV yang kan masih sewit program, so apa nak ialah kompetensi program nak. So kali ini ya apa tu kalau up $70,000 ya,
Firehouse ultimately doing their master prayers before taking on their oppositions. ONELOVE, who are playing in white, and Firehouse are in red. That is somehow sending a signal as to the dangers around their team. Sidhu, once again we are here to witness another league final. Some other zones have wrapped up their finals, and today Banjul 2 will wrap up their finals hopefully.
Thank you very much, Farmer. It's another day and another trophy to be grabbed by either teams who are appearing for the first time, waiting to grab the title for the first time in their history as far as Banjul Nawetan is concerned. And these are two teams that are the other team, as you likely said, in red, waiting to light up against a team that is in blue. So I hope this encounter will be as many anticipated it to be. Banjul, as traditionally used to be a zone that normally plays beautiful football with so many amazing talents coming the ranks or making their marker in this particular competition.
Certainly, Sidhu, Banjul is a zone known for producing a lot of great talents as far as Gambian football is concerned, and we'll be hoping to see some glimpses of the kind of talents we will see in the youth ranks going all the way to the national team. Sethijan, you're supposed to be our host, but we're going to welcome you to this commentary. You've been following this football close enough, and this is a great moment for the two players and their supporters.
Yes, thank you very much, Famara, and I welcome all of you, the national broadcaster, to Banjul. And briefly about these two teams, they are contrasting teams from either ends of Banjul. ONELOVE is from Banjul South, and of course have its base in around Ken Street, Angulsin, and the other team in Firehouse have its base around Angulsin, around James Senegal, Spalding and all. And these two teams, this is the opportunity for either of them to win their first trophy. Firehouse was the first to play its first final. That was back in 2018, and unfortunately for them, they lost to McDonald by 2 goals to 0. And for One Love, this is their first final. And One Love is a history-making team because they were one of the best teams in the Banjul Nawetan, and then they got relegated some 6-7 years ago. They came back to the Nawetan proper this season via the Nawetan qualifying rounds. And from Nawetan qualifying rounds straight to the finals. There are only some few teams that managed to do that, in the likes of course, Pignados and another team that is Plumby, that is around Banjul North. And One Love have produced relatively some very good players that went on to play at the national level, junior category, in Alaji Sar Mia, who this time around was playing for Oneness, and Alaji Sar was with the under 20 2018, who won the WAFU championship. And on the other hand, Firehouse, their biggest product and biggest prodigy is Modu Sar, who won a host of trophies with Gamtel. All the domestic trophies, he managed to win it, and also played for the home-based team in 2015. So in short, these are the two teams, and One Love, one can say, have the biggest support base because their base is around Banjul South, where the artificial turf is located. And on the other hand, where Firehouse is located, you have a host of very different teams that are there, but I can tell you, the whole of Banjul not have mobilized to support them. So it promises to be an interesting final, and both of these teams have very similar trajectory coming to the final, because both of them were not doing well in their respective zones, and had to rally back and buckle up in the latter stages of their group stages to went on and do very well and reaching the finals. And both of them have managed to do that by winning 2 penalties respectively, shootouts in the quarterfinals and semi-finals respectively. So that is how these two teams line up, and that is their brief history, and hoping to have very, very, very interesting game. And the number 10 and number 7 of One Love, they are brothers, and they are the most potent weapons of One Love. And for Firehouse, Aliu Job, who plays for Banjul, but unfortunately did not have a lot of games last season due to injury. That is why he qualified for the Nawetan. He's the number 8, and number 10, Musa Marong. Well, I think he's the most experienced player here, and bar some setbacks, he would have been up there playing regularly in the top flight league, but still now he got what it takes in order to flourish in this game. So it promises to be a very exciting game. Watch out for Salilu Jalo, number 4. He has been recruited by Walidan and had some couple of games in the 1st division. So interesting ties from either, interesting lineup, and of course interesting players from either teams.
Thank you very much, Sehtiyan Gay. That was the reason why we grabbed him, to make sure he is part of this commentary team. He knows local football to his fingertips. He follows national football close enough, irrespective of the place. We've seen glimpses of Salilu Jalo trying to beat the defenders there, but can One Love, can Firehouse so fire to One Love? Corner comes in, dealt with easily by the captain of Firehouse. He's looking for support. Musa Marong, intercepted so easily by the opposition captain. One Love trying to attack here. Salilu Jalo, the tricky player. But they're trying to push him. He goes to the ground. He was appealing for a foul, but the referee awards a throw in to Firehouse. And Pa Aziz Cisse will take that one for them. It's the 2023 Banjul Nawetan League Final. We are 5 minutes into the encounter. The scoreline stays blank, and we are still yet to witness a shot on target in this game. It appears we're going to witness the 4th yellow card of the game. The referee did not award the foul. He allows the advantage, but he see the need to caution the One Love player, Amai Seka. So we witnessed the 4th yellow card of the game just after 7 minutes into the game. I think that was, even though the referee did not allow he did not award the foul, he allows the advantage. We ended up cautioning, showing a yellow card to the player.
Yeah, I'm expecting a very physical game because either teams are very physical in the way they play, very direct. And if you look at One Love, most of their games, they rely on the services of their number 10 and number 7. Those are brothers, the Jawa brothers, and as well as Salilu. And their midfield players are mostly dwelling midfield players, win the ball, play it out wide, and expect the pace of these 2-3 players in order to make the difference. And contrastingly, Firehouse would also like to knock the ball around, but they rely a lot on their wing backs, either on Pa Aziz or the number 9 left over the other end to create danger for them. And in midfield, with the likes of Barrow for Firehouse, that is the number 6, who is also a very good player, but most of the time win balls with duels. And the number 3 for One Love, who just received his yellow card, is also a very tough tackling midfield player. So either team that dominates in midfield, one can expect them to of course have a greater grips on this game. So it promises to be a very tough game, and I will not be surprised if we have a lot of cards on this game.
The battle will surely be in the center of the field. And if any team is able to dominate that, there's a greater likelihood that they will decide to actually win the game. But that remains to be seen. Approaching 8 minutes. Nothing to separate the two here at the Banjul KG5 Mini Stadium, where One Love are taking on Firehouse, trying to do a bit of penetration there. One Love defended very well, but the ball is still in play. Cross into the area. One Love struggling to defend, and Firehouse equally struggling to penetrate. It appears they're going to be hit on a counter-attack here. The player accelerating, physical battle there, easily won. Still yet to see the game burst into life here at the KG5 Mini Stadium. Cross comes in, but the ball already goes out of play for a goal kick to Firehouse. Norwegian is the most popular, or one of the most popular football across the country, coupled with the Super Norwegian. Wherever you go to, it's always never boring. The atmosphere is always lively. Turnouts are always massive. And the football is usually very attractive and exciting, down to the fact that, can we say, because the teams always have a large fan base, they always want to do everything possible not to disappoint their supporters. That is why in Norwegian games, you know, we always see a highly tense football. I mean, full of urgency. I mean, chances, you name them.
Farmer, thank you very much. Knowing very well that it's not only the result that matters in Nawetan, but also people have put in a lot of, their resources to see you play. So whoever is on the pitch would always want to impress the people that have paid their monies to come here and watch. So definitely this is how and what makes Nawetan super special and different from all kind of competitions as far as this football or Gambia's football is concerned. And here it's a lively affair between these two sides, seeing how the Firehouse outfit and also the One Love outfit had really played. Salilu is a player that I watched, made his debut against BSC Galaxy for Walida when he came on in place of Haji Toure of Walida. So definitely he's a lad who is so blessed with skills, trickery, and has an eye for goal. I remember there was a game that I came here to watch him. He scored a wonderful, brilliant solo goal. So Famara, it's quite entertaining how these two sides have started here.
That was a wasteful corner there by One Love. We are all trying to hit on a counter-attack. Salilu is the player who has been showing glimpses of his talent more than any other player on this pitch. is a tricky player, always usually difficult to stop whenever in possession. And the opposition are very much aware of the dangers he is likely to post. And as a result, you can see Amai Seka, the right back. Oh, Paasis Cesar rather, the right back for ONELOVE. Firehouse always try to close him whenever he is in possession.
Both teams definitely have a host of very good players. The Jallo brothers, that is Malik and Abdurrahman, Jawo Jallo rather, Mamadou Jawo Jallo and Malik Jallo. Malik, some couple of years ago, he helped, of course, Warriors to the Super Cup final, and he had some spells with the junior team of one Senegalese top team in the Generation Foot, but unfortunately he was not able to sign top professional contract with Generation Foot, came back this season and is doing very well. Cherno Sarr, who also plays for Firehouse, helped Banjul to get promotion from the third tier to the top tier, and due to some other engagements he was not able to continue his football, but I can tell you this season he has really helped Firehouse to be where they are right now. So either sides, you get some promising players. You know, sometimes due to certain circumstances they don't play a lot of divisional football, and that qualifies them to play in the Nawetan. But you do well in the Nawetan, you are snapped up by one of the top teams in the league, and there you go, like Salilou Jallo. There were so many teams that were after him, but Walidan ended up getting him, and I'm pretty confident that he will do the goods for Walidan.
With his talent, he's quite capable of performing at any stage, Salilou. With what I've seen him shown here in this initial 15 minutes of this encounter, he's a player who can play at any level. Quarter of an hour played into the game. ONELOVE 0, Firehouse 0 is the score in this 2023 Nawetan League Cup final between ONELOVE playing in white and blue and Firehouse playing in red. Flag has been raised for an offside there for a free kick to Firehouse. We've not seen much urgency in the game, Sidhu. I think it's probably down to the fact that the two teams are still trying to study each other's tactic. No clear-cut chance after 15 minutes.
Yeah, definitely at this early moment of this game, what these two teams are manifesting here is all about the middle of the park and how they are really playing to make sure that they connect the final third. At the final third, we are yet to see enough clear-cut scoring chances, but we've seen some glimpses of encouraging football. One thing that stands out as far as this encounter is concerned, Famara, is the willingness of both teams and players to run to run this place to make sure that, calm the tempo of the game, willing to take responsibility and play the game. That is the difference between these two sides. And that is what is making this Nawetan or this final an amazing thing to watch. There is no team, there is nobody who is, being afraid to hold on the ball. Each and every player who is on this pitch is willing to take up the responsibility, hold on the ball, and make sure that when whoever is taking a pass makes a good one.
Cross comes in again, easy catch by the ONELOVE goalkeeper Ibu Drame. Very tall, you don't expect him to miss balls like that, sir.
Yes, Ibu have been competing fiercely with Jim Sow. I'm surprised that Ibu is giving the nod to play this final. But during the second round, it was Jim that was playing in the knockout and Ibu was playing in the league. That promise looks like to be a goal, but good clearance by Ibu Gay, who has been doing very well. Many never tipped him also, Ibu, to nail his place because he has not been playing regularly recently. He works at the Gambia Ports Authority, but due to his physicality and his willingness to close the gap and close the opponent, he has nailed his place. And I was talking about the two goalkeepers. Jim was, to me, Jim is much more agile goalkeeper and a better goalkeeper. But during the second stages of the Nawetan, Jim was playing in the knockout and Drame was playing in the league. Drame managed to qualify the team to the league final, and possibly that is the main reason why he keeps his place. And when they go to penalties, I think he's a very good prospect because during their semi-finals against that was Heart of Banjul, he was the man of the match. He made the exploits. Likewise, Abdurrahman Salah, who also made the exploits for Firehouse in their semi-final encounter against Tesito. So either goalkeepers are very good on penalty shootout, but we are not yet there. And I hope this final will beat yesterday's final because yesterday's final was absolutely amazing, where Ajax ended up winning, and Warriors would be hard done by because they had about 6 clear-cut chances and could have easily won the game, but due to their inability to find the back of the net and convert their chances to goals, Ajax ended up scoring a last-minute goal and ended up winning. So it was a very, very, very entertaining final yesterday, but I hope the league final will beat the knockout final in terms of not only attendance and in terms of prize money, but in terms of spectacle here. But we are yet to see anything that is close to what we saw yesterday.
We nearly witnessed the opener here, but the defender was on high alert. Corner comes in, headed out easily. ONELOVE are back in possession. And Firehouse trying to scramble away the danger. Brilliant play there by Malik Jallo. We love to see things like that. In football, the crowd good in the exchange of passes there. Shot blocked. Can this be the opener? And they finally got what they've been looking for. No surprise, Salilu Jallo put ONELOVE in front. He has some glimpses of his talent, glimpses of his threat, and ultimately he broke the deadlock. Finally, ONELOVE on the ascendancy, sir.
Yes, not surprising because for the past 2-3 minutes we've seen ONELOVE become the much more enterprising team. Well, red card have been shown, probably due to dissent. I don't know whether it is the goalkeeper or whether it is Cisse, the number 16. Either ways, it is a double jeopardy for Firehouse. Conceding a goal and conceding a red card is absolutely very, very, very bad news for them. Probably it has to be due to dissent because I saw them protesting towards the second assistant referee when the goal was scored, probably protesting due to offside. And he's been shown a red card and he has been one of their better players. That is Keba Cisse. He has been one of their better players, but I think he has seriously let his team down. If it is down to dissent, probably he must have said something to the referee because the referee would not just show you a red card without saying anything. But either way, it is a double jeopardy. And coming back to the goal, it started with Malik Jallo doing his brilliant bits of pieces and then finding Sugufara. Sugufara finds space, his shot was deflected off, and the most alert of either teams inside the box is Salilu Jallo. And talking about his step over to a higher pedigree playing in the first division, he has shown his class by being the most alert player inside the area and tap home. ONELOVE, a deserved lead, And Firehouse, can they bounce back with a goal deficit and a man deficit? That remains to be seen.
After finding themselves behind, they are reduced to 10 men here. Firehouse. Keba Sise was sent up for dissent. And another yellow card has been dashed off. I think Firehouse definitely need to calm themselves, or otherwise they can get themselves in a lot of danger.
Famara, it's quite unfortunate seeing the first goal and the first red card of this game. And as a referee, I think these are moments that players will go disgruntled, and it's your responsibility to make sure that you calm the game. You don't keep on flashing cards. And this is local football. This is Navetan. When you keep on flashing cards, it doesn't go down well as a good reputation for the referee. I think there could be a better way of managing the game than flashing red cards. A team is down, a man down, and a goal down, which is unfortunate, and there is no referee who wants to be at the good side of his game, seeing flashing red cards or yellow cards. So definitely I think Mustafa Bide should step up his game and make sure being able to control this game. I don't think giving out cards is the best way of controlling whenever the players are angry. I mean, a goal that has been scored, they are disgruntled, they have all the privileges to, protest. This is football. This is why we love this game. But you just don't keep on red carding players for, talking to you or certain action. And this is unfortunate for Firehouse. They are a goal down and a man down, but it is never over until it is over in football.
There is still everything to play for. We've seen teams coming back from behind, even with 2 men down or a man down. And the panel of referees given the responsibility to take charge of this final are central referee Mustafa Bite. First assistant is Bailo Mane and second assistant is John Fai. And the fourth official is Mustafa Juve. They are the one taking charge of this league final of the 2023 Banjul Nowetan. But I'm sure the player, that is Keba Sise, must have said something harsh to the referee and his assistant. That is why he was shown a straight red card. It was not even a second yellow card. Seeing the referees issuing direct red cards, there must be something seriously, said to them or happened in that instant.
Yes, it is, and it's rather unfortunate that it's a double jeopardy. I think I'll have to side with Sidhu on this one. Whatever have been said, maybe the referee felt hard done by or felt provoked, that warranted a red card, but these are games that you should manage better. These are finals. The moment you start dashing in cards, particularly to a team that is already down, well, at the end of the day, you might end up having a game whereby either sides might be very, very much being jeopardized by the cards and all. And Firehouse, as of now, with a red card, a goal down, and another yellow card, you never know. It could be worse. And we've seen a section of the fans, probably of Firehouse, stoning to the first assistant referee down to this end. And I think these are community football. Sometimes you need to look at how to manage it, because if certain issues escalate, it might be very difficult to control them. I'm not saying that you have to compromise the laws of the game, but sometimes common sense should prevail, because that is even a law in the game. The 17th law is common sense. Sometimes you have to apply it, and I think Mustafa would need to be talked to, probably by the referee assessors here by halftime, so that he can be much calmer, because these games, the players should be the stars, not the referees. And certainly, I think he needs to be reminded of that. As of now, he's doing very well, but whatever might have been said that warranted the red card could have been avoided. That's my own personal take.
Certainly, say the application of common sense in community football is very vital. Sometimes you look at the situation, if anything that you think can bring the game into disrepute, you try to avoid it as much as you can. Game management is very important, not only for the technicians, but equally for the referees as well, especially in Norwegians. But notwithstanding, still 1-0 to ONELOVE. 26 minutes on the clock. And Salilu Jallo's goal is still making the difference. They scored almost on the 20-minute mark. They broke the deadlock, and they will be hoping to add to their lead. I think definitely it will be vital for ONELOVE to take advantage in this first half to try to get Firehouse where they actually wanted them, because considering the numerical difference, the numerical advantage, that is something they should utilize, especially with attacking football. We actually saw them played in the first 20 minutes of the game. They have talent up front. They have, pace up front, and equally it looks like they are clinical, provided that they create chances. They are quite capable of taking them. So they should capitalize on the moments to actually, take the spirit of the Firehouse team before going into the break.
I think there are two things that should Firehouse up. That is the goal they conceded and the numerical disadvantage they have. And we've seen times with our numbers, teams that are numerically disadvantaged went on to win games and produce outstanding performance. And that is down to willingness, because if every player gives 110% to contrastingly to the maybe 80 or 90% or 100% you are giving previously to compensate that man loss, probably you would be on the ascendancy. And knowing how mentally tough this Firehouse team is, they will be very fired up. But the onus is on ONELOVE to show that they have what it takes in terms of possession, in terms of intelligence, in order to quell it down. But I can tell you it is not definitely over, because Firehouse, mental-wise, they are one of the strongest teams. They took a lot of mental strength in order to be where they are, and it is not this numerical disadvantage or the goal down that will let their guards down. They will keep on fighting until the last minute.
In swinger, poor headed there by Firehouse player. They must be somehow disappointed that they are not able to capitalize on that set piece. As we approach the half-hour mark, I can see them, Firehouse, trying to do one thing here. Now they know very well that there is a difference in the numbers, and they want to rely so much on the set pieces. I think that will be one of the easiest ways for them to find their way back into this game.
Definitely, I think now it's a matter of moving to plan B. Plan A has already gone. You are a man down and a goal down. You need to resort to plan B. And I will attribute to what you say. Set piece could be one of the plan Bs that these, coaches and the team should apply in order to come back to this game. You can see the number 10 is agile and you have very strong and physical players. If they could, try to win some fouls at the final third or win corners at the final third, capitalize on set pieces, they could come back to this game. But again, here they need to be cautious of the number 10, the number 7 for ONELOVE. They are very fast and very tricky players. And likewise the goal scorers. If they are not mindful, when they want to come all out to score or find a leveler, that could lead them into another trouble, and it will be another mountain to climb, Famara.
Thank you very much. The game is temporarily stopped, sir. There has been some successful teams in the Banjul Nuwait and some formidable names, some familiar names in Banjul Nuwait, and probably we did not see any one of them in the final. As you said earlier on, this is the first time one of the teams are definitely making their presence at this stage, and equally the other team their second time. So that shows there must have been some other top teams that were not able to make it to the final this time around.
Yes, I think currently the most successful team in the Banjul Nawetan is Digi Dambi. They were away for a while but qualified again via the playoffs this season, and they stopped in the quarterfinals. They were knocked out in the quarterfinals. And the second most successful team compared after Digi Dambi is Jameson. They lost 2 quarterfinals, one to ONELOVE and the other to Ajax. ONELOVE is here in the finals. I was anticipating the likes of London City, who had a perfect group stage. 15 points they collected in the group stages, but unfortunately also they lost in their both round of 16 games. Another team that also went on to do very well in the group stage was Red Tigers, but they also succumbed to 2 defeats in the round of 16 and quarterfinals. So these were teams that everybody anticipated. Along the way, you had the likes of Ngoyan, who is the oldest team. They never made it out of the group stages. They had a very torrid Nawetan. And Warriors made it to one of the finals but lost it. They're the third oldest team. Tesito, the second oldest team, also lost to Firehouse in the semi-finals of the league. So they had a very good Nawetan as well, but ended up losing. So most of the teams that everybody anticipated to win either trophies bow down. Here we are having ONELOVE and Firehouse, and one of them would be going home to their fans for the first time in their history with a trophy. But nonetheless, the journey continues. The other teams that have lost this time around will buckle up. There are some teams who are always traditionally good. Jameson have been one of the most consistent. Digi Dambi certainly would keep on being consistent. Firehouse also, since they came to the Nawetan in 2007, although this is their second final, but have been always consistent. So they will keep on bringing a lot of goods. And what is quite exciting is the young prospects that are always produced here in this Banjul Nawetan. You look at what Banjul, all their players that are doing well have been produced here in the Banjul Nawetan. Banjul United, more or less the same thing. Gambia Ports Authority sub always from the Banjul Nawetan, likewise the likes of Walidan, Real de Banjul and others. Although Real have really moved on to other venues to sub a lot of players, but Banjul have been one of their biggest hunting grounds. So the journey continues, and these teams, either Nawetan zone you go to, these teams produce the goods for those teams that are from their area. If you look at Falcons that have nearly won the league last year, most of their players were snapped from the Serekunda East Nawetan. Tallinding United always sub from the Serekunda East Nawetan, Serekunda United, the list goes on. So Nawetan is the biggest sporting jamboree in this country, no doubt about that. It is played nearly everywhere, although the impact that it has cannot be minimized, but if it is much more organized, it can have a very different prospect to what it is having. But these league teams have to be very much grateful to Nawetan, because you hardly see a league team now that have a second feeder team. They use Nawetan as their feeder teams. So I think something needs to be done to better the stance and the organizational structures of this Nawetan. Although they are not physically aligned to the Gambia Football Federation, but something needs to be done. They are aligned to the National Sports Council, but they feed the Gambia Football Federation with a lot of players. That is the clubs that are aligned, that are affiliated to the Gambia Football Federation. And for that, Super Nawetan is doing us a lot of good. But if you look at it, how much does it make these Nawetan teams prosper? How does it make them progress? There is not a lot of meaningful advantage to that. So that is something that needs to be looked at. I'll not bore you off with this kind of reflection, but coming back to this game, it is never over until it is all over. And once again, let me reiterate this. Firehouse are one of the most mentally strong teams, and it is never over until the referee blows that final whistle. No matter how disadvantaged they are, they will keep on fighting and they will keep on coming back until fate decides otherwise.
They are showing a bit of solidity since conceding that goal, Firehouse. 34-minute played into the first half. Still Salilu Jallo's lone goal is making the difference here. It's the goal that separates the two. What you were saying was very vital. The last time I was discussing the same thing with Sidu, I went to the extent of even saying CAF and FIFA should actually work with the national federations to ensure or to see how best they can support Nawetan. Because to me, it's the best football in the country. Say, you go there, you are never bored. You see a lot of raw talent. You see a lot of crowd coming out to cheer behind the teams. And equally, you see the local organizers trying to put in all the energy to make sure that they organize their games very well. I think, the support level given to the Nawetan, or in fact, I can say there is no support that they receive from any of these, not the National Sports Council, not the Federation. I think there should be something for them to ensure that, they help the grassroots football, develop to the extent that many will hope.
Yes, a very interesting reflection. The Gambia Football Federation is having an MOU in most of these Nawetan zone, providing certain basic necessities. But let's go back to the number one fact. The number one fact is these parks are owned by council. How much does council spend on these parks? That is one thing that we need to look at. I think you go to, for example, our nearest neighbor, Senegal. All their parks have been well funded and well managed by council. And then you have their Nawetan zones that of course runs them. Here the National Sports Council, these sports committees are an extension of the National Sports Council. Although apart from administrative setups, I don't see any other thing that the National Sports Council helps in. And I think the onus is in the Nawetan zones to work together and then have a national body that they run themselves. come Super Nawetan, the GFF organized it. The GFF have a lot of things at their table. So the only thing they would do with Super Nawetan is to provide the administrative structures, provide the fixture, provide the referees and all. But I think the different Nawetan zones should come together, work together, organize their own Super Nawetan, organize their own zonals, organize their own national championship. If they do that, they can have enough funds for themselves, they can develop their parks, and then they should start compelling government, compelling, of course, their local government bodies. These are things, how much of their budget, the local government bodies, how much of their budget is spent on these local parks? These are things that we need to look at. But unless and until they come together and have a national unitary body, that is these Nawetan zones. For example, if you go to Senegal, they have ONCAV and OTCAV. The regional bodies are the OTCAV, the national body is ONCAV, and they work together. So unless and until these Nawetan zones come together, organize their own Super Nawetan, organize their own activities where they would generate a lot of fun. Because let's look at Super Nawetan. Super Nawetan can attract a sponsorship of more than $4 million with the current state of things. But at the end of the day, it is not well structured, and at the end of the day, these zones are not taking it and owning up to it. If they own up to it, they can make their own parks, they can compel partners to make their own parks. I don't see any reason why Serekunda is the biggest zone alongside Birkama. I don't see any reason why they cannot compel corporate Gambia to develop their parks. Although something has been done, but it has to be bigger than that. Banjul is the capital city. I don't see any reason why a corporate institution cannot develop this park to be where it is, so that these Nawetan zones can benefit more. Fine, we've seen the metamorphosizing of some Nawetan teams to went on to play league football. Fortune is a classic example. Falcons is a classic example. But that has to be done more. That has to be done more. And Banjul United was erected from the Banjul Nawetan. Banjul erected from Banjul Nawetan. Birkama United erected from the Birkama Nawetan. So it is these Nawetan zones that feed up the league. But these Nawetan zones, their organizational structure, I'm sorry, I've worked onto it, but unless and until you have those that decide on things, sit together, brainstorm, and see a very proper way that these teams, these communities can benefit from Nawetan, it will continue to be just something that would be feeding the national teams, and it is more or less meaningless. We don't have any zonals this year. Why? If it was organized by these national organizing committees of the different zones, we would have had zonals. And I think it can go parallelly with the league. I don't see any reason why it cannot happen. But these are reflections that I think should be a debate of another platform. Yeah. But let us enjoy the game, and then, yes, hopefully that we'll have more exciting moments for this farmer. Yes.
Certainly, I mean, the viewers will definitely love, the analysis and the reflections we are actually giving as far as this game is concerned. Is very vital. These are things that should be made known to, the people. And there's one of the best places, events like this, to actually reflect back on the things that needs to be done, the things that we are not doing right, the things that we can actually move forward to ensure that, we graduate from one thing to another. Corner for Firehouse, right-footed into the area. One Love looking to defend. Firehouse are back in possession, and they are intercepted. Salilu Jallo, the goal scorer now. Going forward, approaching 40 minutes. Still Firehouse, 0, One Love 1. Salilu Jallo's goal is still making the difference. That is another bright talent, Malik Jallo. Salilu is back in possession now. One Love looking for their second goal. They are scanning passes inside the Firehouse half. Salilu. One Love now. Shot is in. Well saved by Abdurrahman Salah of Firehouse, screaming at his players there. They should have done better. They allow, One Love to play, to make a lot of touches around their 18-yard box. That is why the goalkeeper was a bit furious after that action.
I think as a team that is a man down and a goal down, if you want to stay on the game, you need to avoid circumstances like this. You don't allow opponent who has, better in numbers and in the scoreline to be playing more touches, more than 3 touches in your half. When that happens, he is off. Famara, he is off. a second yellow card. He was forced booked.
Well, we're going to see another red card. 2 red cards in the first half. Has been shown a second yellow card. He's still on the ground. He knew very well that what awaits him is going to be a raid on the central referee, Mustafa Bite Flores, a red card. It is going to be equal in numbers now. Amaseka of ONELOVE has been shown a yellow card. He is the first player to be booked in this game. He was shown a yellow card in the initial proceedings. And here he is sent off for a second bookable offense. It's equal in numbers now. A moment Firehouse has been looking forward to. They are actually looking forward to 2 moments. That is to equalize and equally have equal in numbers. The numerical, equality, sir.
It goes back to what Sidhu was saying. Once you start brandishing the cards, you cannot stop anymore. The first foul that MI made, he brandished a yellow card. Then Keba Cisse was shown a red card, straight red for dissent. And then he continued with that trend. You cannot stop anymore because you want to be consistent. And that is what we've seen. A great final that have 10 men. Now we have a numerical equality. Let's hope that, well, it could reflect on the game. As we speak, anything can happen. Firehouse would feel now they have what it takes, or their advantage, or their possibility of equalizing is much more enhanced now since ONELOVE has been reduced. And bar that only shot that ONELOVE made, shot on target by Salilu, bar that, I think Firehouse was the better team after they got 1 man down and 1 goal down. So let's wait and see how they would react to this. But as I said, it promises to be a very, very tough encounter. It is never over. Their mentality and their strong will in order to continue fighting maybe might help them prevail. But one great attribute of ONELOVE is their defense is very solid. They hardly concede. And in the knockout stage, I think they only conceded 1 goal. In the league, they only conceded 1 goal. That was in the semi-final against Heart of Banjul. Will they keep on continuing that momentum? That remains to be seen. But a lot of things can happen in today's game.
This is a free kick from a goal scoring range for Firehouse. 9 comes. Horrible one. And that takes us to the halftime break. A bit of disappointment for Firehouse that they could not level matters before the end of the first half, as ONELOVE heads into the break with a goal advantage. Salilu Jallo scored in the 28th minute mark to put ONELOVE in front, and they will go into the intervals with the 1 goal advantage, even though the numerical difference has been tallied now, Sidhu. We've seen 2 red cards shown in this game and a goal scored in the first half.
I think it's a half that has it all. It has the anxiety, it has the excitement, it has beautiful football, but more so it has the tackles and it has cards. So it is a half that has everything as far as this game is concerned or football is concerned. But again, look, coming back to the red card, I think my personal opinion is the first red card could have been compromised. That was the first tackle of the game. It was not at a deadly situation. It was never at a dangerous position. It was never a goal scoring opportunity. It's just he clamps on his, since the player goes to the ground, he leaves the advantage. It could have been let go, but that never happened. It was counted and it was given. So only 2 tackles that he has done on this game. Let us look at it. They all resulted to yellow card. The second one, I am 100% with the referee, but the first one could have been avoidable. But this is what makes football beautiful. But Famara, to be quite honest with you, this game has everything that it takes to be, beautiful. It has the excitement, it has the beautiful football, and it has the dirty side of the game.
We look forward to seeing how the two teams will return for the second half. But it's One Love who heads into the break with a 1-0 lead. Halftime score, One Love 1, Firehouse 0 in the 2023 Banjul Northern League Championship. Welcome back to the second half of this 2023 Banjul Northern League final between One Love and Firehouse. We've witnessed 2 red cards and a goal in the first half. And here we are for the second half between the two teams as they chase their first title in Banjul Northern. And as it stands, One Love are leading by a goal to 0 scored by Salilu Jallo. We've shown the central referee Mustafa Bite shown a red card to Keba Sise of Firehouse Force. And then M.I. Seka was also shown a red card after a second bookable offense at the stroke, just at the stroke of halftime. So we are back for the second half. I was thinking they will play, 45 minutes, considering the fact that this is a final, and equally, there are floodlights here. Even when it gets dark, they can still go on with that. But I'm not sure if they want to take that risk. They've only played 4 or 40 minutes in the first half, and it's likely we're going to witness another 40 minutes in the second half. But we've not seen any changes, on either side. And they are back with the lineup that actually started the game by the red cards. The same players are back for the second half.
Yes, but Firehouse's Omar Barrow is struggling. The player that was fouled that resulted to that second yellow card of Seka. Looking at the way he's working, I'm not sure he could make this game. He has been an integral player for Firehouse over the years, and I'm sure the technical side is very much hesitant in order to take him off. But I think you are better off with somebody who can play with 2 legs rather than 1 leg. And looking at how he's bending, he's seriously struggling. And this is a very promising free kick for Firehouse. If it is well delivered, you never know, it could result to something. We are well poised for a very, very interesting second half. And Aliu Job is set to take this free kick. Farmer.
It comes in. The goalkeeper dealt with it very well, trying to make sure that he denies everyone from having contact with that ball. But One Love are accelerating with the ball deep inside the opposition half now. Number 14 is intercepted there for Ansun Jai. Firehouse thinking and looking for means to penetrate their opponents. In One Love, you've said the number 6, he seemed to be struggling, the Umar Barrow of Firehouse. He has been limping on the pitch. I think the best decision would have been the coaches not to take the risks, but actually make sure that they take him off.
Yes, he has been an integral player for Firehouse, a tough tackling midfield player, but one who can carry the ball as well. So, but I think you're better off with somebody who have both legs rather than with 1 leg. And with ankle injury, it's always a problem because the ankle determines the momentum and the movement of the leg. If it is injured, it's a problem. And you look at the couple of balls he has lost within the space of a minute, you would definitely see that he is struggling. And I'm not seeing anybody warming up for Firehouse. I'm not seeing any activity at their bench, but the best thing would be to take him off as we speak, Famara.
All the players are seated on the bench. That shows that the coaches are not willing to make any substitution for now. But One Love trying to go forward, looking for their second goal. Firehouse were solid at the back. It's back to 10 men each for either side in this game. So whatever happens, even though Firehouse are a goal down here, They will be fighting to level matters here if possible. That is going to be a bit difficult for them considering the solidity at the back for ONELOVE. They are very calm and composed at the back, always dealing with any threat Firehouse are actually trying to pose Sidu.
Knowing exactly what you needed in a final is to have that, superiority in terms of a goal. And they are not letting it go. They are very solid, trying to make sure that when they go out, they go out. But at the back also, they remain resilient and know that this team is going all out for a goal in this moment. So definitely they've been very disciplined, they've been calm, and they are able to maintain this scoreline how it was in the first half, Famara.
Approaching 5 minutes into the second half, there is going to be 45 minutes in this game. ONELOVE still leading with Salilu Jallo's goal, which came just halfway into the first half. And usually a bit of screaming from the supporters there. They were hoping that they will get something from that. These are always interesting moments in football. Say, when a team, is trailing, you actually see the reaction of the supporters whenever they making movements around their opposition 13-yard box or whenever they create chances. These are moments that make games very interesting.
Yes, that's Nawetan for you. You have a whole lot of people that only watch football during Nawetan. Some of them even have no idea of some of the rules. So they only sound whenever they see the ball near the goal area. And that is, of course, what we are witnessing here. You find it, you see it in all the zones, and that is what is exactly happening here. And still now on the game, it is, I think, Firehouse now have about 35 minutes plus added on time to play for. So you don't need to rush, you don't need to take a lot of risk, because with 1-0 down, you are still on the game. What you need to do is make sure that do not concede the second goal. As far as it is still 1-0, you are still on the game. And also, ONELOVE, you would not want to take off the momentum that you created in the first half by, of course, retreating and allowing Firehouse to dictate the pace of the game. I'm not saying that, but it is natural instinct. Once you are a goal up and then you are in, let's say, 20-25 minutes into the game, you'll be thinking of how to protect that lead. That is natural instinct. It happens everywhere, but let's wait and see. I still believe we might have another goal in this game.
With the way the two teams are attacking, there's a likelihood that we will see a goal in this second half as well. And the supporters of Firehouse will be hoping that it comes their way so that they can force the game into penalty shootout. I've never seen any of the Nuetan zones, taking their games into extra time. And I'm not sure if that is going to happen here, sir.
No. Extra time is not of course, part and parcel of Nuetan. Once it is over, you go to penalty shootout. I'm not sure what has been discussed during the game preparation meeting, whether if it ends in a draw, they are going for a postponement or straight penalty shootout. That remains to be seen. But I'll be surprised if it is postponed, because right now the league is up and running, and you would hardly have a window where you can play this kind of finals. But either ways, let's enjoy these moments here, and hoping that we have more goals, because it is goals that, of course, get games exciting, and let's hope that we have much more to come in this game.
Well, Sidu was saying something. You got some Nuetan zones there. They went to the extent of including it in their rules and regulations that whenever their games finals ends in stalemates, be it scoring draw or goalless draw, they always adjourn the game. But what Seth said, we've seen a lot of challenges when it comes to football infrastructure. The availability of playing grounds for final Nuetan games will be very much difficult, knowing that the league has actually started. It will be a good idea to complete the Nuetan today, but I'm not sure if that is the same idea running in the minds of the organizers of this particular final, that is the Banjul Sports Committee.
Yeah, definitely. Reschedule. First of all, I'm not a fan of rescheduling finals. But definitely, when you look at also financially, the income that they generate, this is a game that is able to attract hundreds of spectators. And it's a game that is able to score you perhaps more than 100,000. 100,000 in dollars, in money. So definitely, if a game does not decide, is not decided on normal time, perhaps the committee will also want another opportunity to gather more funds for other development of either infrastructure development or any other, kind of expenditure that they venture into. But I'm not a fan of rescheduling of games because it is taking another, day for another activity. It is taking another day for another game. So we are in the midst of, league games, and we have limited facilities to play this game. So when you reschedule a league final, that entire 3 days is interrupted. Because normally, in local zones, they don't want to play another game a day before the final. So rescheduling a final means you are still moving into another calendar that is not, another activity, to the another calendar that is not catered for. So definitely it brings up and down change of other activities as far as that particular park or community field is concerned.
That was a disappointing free kick earlier on by Musa Marong. Well, looking at the distance from the goal, there were two options: either to go in for a set piece, place it for players to scramble, go in for headers, or go in for a direct goal from that decent angle.
Yeah, with the modern game, 60% of goals are scored on set pieces, particularly a set piece that is about 19 yards away from the goal. In swinger or an out swinger could be headed home, but Musa decided to went for a goal, but neither was able to find an opponent nor the target. So that is very disappointing. These are instances that they need to capitalize on, and some of the there is a player down, but the referee is insisting that play should go on, and the player is found inside the field. Maybe the referee deemed that the player is just wasting time, and he is up again. Yes.
Well, I think that was a wise idea there by the central referee, Mustafa Biche. Firehouse have sent out some players for a warm-up who will be coming on for a rescue mission if possible. But Sidhu was saying something very much important. You look at the Norwegian organizers of the Norwegians, the only place they are able to generate income is usually from the gates. From the proceeds they actually, gathered from the gates, and seeing them, adjoining finals will not be something that is very much bad for them. But looking at the Banjul Norwegian, we realize this is a Norwegian that when it comes to sponsorship, usually it's not a major problem for them. We've seen teams being, some time back I saw it on social media, whether it was an individual or a group or a company that actually come forward to provide jerseys, football jerseys for almost all the participating teams, even going to the extent of paying registration fees for them. So we can say financially Banjul are benefiting a lot. Cross comes into the area as Firehouse trying to actually look for an equalizer here. But I think that is also another way of supporting Norwegian.
Yes, I think mostly politicians, but National Assembly members, councillors of different wards normally come in support of their teams. And not only that, the previous mayor, Samba Fall, and the current sitting mayor, Rohim Maliglo, also have done that. Ibu Fai have also done that, who was an aspiring mayor. So politicians normally come to the aid of teams, and back in their respective communities, more privileged personalities or well-known personalities in the communities help teams. That has been seen, because you look at the expenditure in Nawetan. Sometimes even if you win the trophy, because here just the league trophy cash price is $70,000. I can tell you some teams have spent much more than that without even reaching the finals. So you need benevolent people to help you. For example, we at Jameson, we are very much grateful to some of our community members, the likes of Sol, so the likes of Pa Aliu, but more prominently Asan Sise, the Gambian international who played for Jameson. And all the time when we have some financial issues, he always chip in. He doesn't even have to be wait to be told. And that is the same thing that happens with all the Nawetan teams. And that is why I'm saying the organizational structure have to be looked at, because you spend way more than you earn on Nawetan. And looking at Banjul is, this final is generating this crowd. But if you come to the other games, the crowd is sometimes less than 200. There are so many factors that make Banjul disadvantaged when it comes to presence of people, migration, other factors are all quite big factors. But unlike Serekunda is whereby, because I understand the last league final, both teams went home with close to 67,000 as gate tickets. We cannot expect that in Banjul because of certain circumstances. So the organizational structure of Nawetan have to be looked at, because in anything that you venture into, you have to do it and gain something out of it. Although one can argue that our league teams is the same thing, but a league team, for example, Steve Biko can sell Adam Abojang and receive a lot of millions. Hawks can sell Musa Barrow and receive a lot of millions, but that does not happen in Nawetan. Even the players that are snapped from them, they don't receive a compensation from the league teams. So with more organizational structures, if some of these Nawetan teams register themselves as academy teams and register their players in the legal way, when a player is given to a league team, they can have an MOU whereby if the player goes to professional, imagine if Ajax or Jameson could have received something from the transfer fee of Jaguar, or if Jameson could have received something from the transfer fee of Asan Sise, who was signed by Lugano from Nyaritali, courtesy of, let's say, Gamtel, because Gamtel loaned him to Nyaritali. Imagine all these things happen. These are the organizational structure that we need to look at so that Nawetan teams can start to benefit, because all these players that we see were held by Nawetan teams. And Nawetan, to be quite honest, they are developmental teams, they are academies. So you need to look at ways or means of registering them legally so that at the end of the day they can benefit from the developmental fee that are paid. All clubs, all players that make transfer, there is a developmental fee attached to the team that help them develop. Most of the time it is taken by the club. Sometimes it is even the agent that eats this money. So these are reflections that we need to make once again. And coming back to the final again, right now it is a little bit dormant, considering that OneLove are certainly looking at ways of killing the time and taking off the momentum. Firehouse needs to be more direct and more pragmatic in their approach. And these are the time whereby you look at just getting the ball inside the opponent's half, play in the opponent's half, create chaos. If you create chaos, something can be made out of it. But as we speak, I've not seen much from Firehouse as we speak that would give me the promise that they have what it takes to equalize the game. But you never know in football. It is seconds that things happen and mistakes can happen. Moments of brilliance can happen. Let's see what would happen. That is definitely going to be a yellow card. No doubt about that.
Well, that was a purposeful foul. He did that for something, and he's shown a yellow card. That appears to be Dasugu Farah of OneLove has been shown a yellow card there for a foul on Firehouse player. 17 minutes played into the second half. Still OneLove hanging on to the slender advantage here. They're 1-0 lead, which came halfway into the first half, courtesy of Salilu Jallo. A clinical finish, a brilliant finish, intelligent one for that matter, even though the goalkeeper was stationed on his line right in the middle. But Salilu managed to actually prevent him, stop him from making any save by firing into the top roof to give OneLove the slender lead. And since then, OneLove could not add to their lead, and Firehouse could not find a way back. And the momentum of the game has reduced greatly. Sidhu, as Seth was saying, OneLove actually knew very well that the best they can do is actually to take off the tempo of the game to prevent Firehouse from finding any way of getting back into this game.
Yeah, in a final, if you have what you are looking out for, you need to manage the game. And to be quite honest, OneLove are able to manage what they have so far. It was one of been an end-to-end stuff in the first half, but the second half we've not seen that enough clear-cut goal scoring or the excitement that we've seen in the first half. Both teams seems a little bit, naive to go on to the order, but like you said, One Love are having a goal. Why do you need to go onto your opponent knowing that both of you are a man down? It's just a matter of how you manage your game, how you scale up the game, killing down the time to make sure that what you have, you don't squander that. So that is exactly what is manifesting at this moment in his game. But definitely, it's been a slow, pacey game at this moment.
We're going to witness substitution, but that is going to be after the ball is out of play. The fourth official is yet to receive any signal from the central referee. Before those substitutions can take place, a collision here between two Firehouse players. Clash of heads. You can hear one of them screaming. This are usually tough moment for the players. A collision there between the two players of Firehouse, and the paramedics are here to give them all the necessary support to make sure they are back on their feet. Ibrahim Fati is one of the players alongside. Number 11, Falu Cham. That was a concoction, and the fact that they are trailing, they are actually not willing to waste any time in this game. And he has been substituted. Falu, he is not happy with that substitution for him. He will want to actually continue with the game. So I think he is not very much happy. You can see, because he wants to help the team to stage a fight back in this game. But the coaches feel that, they've seen enough of him, and they have to actually replace him to see if they will be able to, the substitute players will be able to make any difference.
Yeah, I strongly believe that even without the decision of the technical side to substitute him, I believe he is concussed, because looking at the way he was knocked off his head and how he landed and how he was reacting, I believe he's concussed. Right now, maybe emotions are getting over him. That is why he couldn't even realize what has actually happened to him. And understandably, he's disappointed because he wanted to help his team to get something. But as at now, all you can do is to support your opponents who are already in the field in order to help your team get back to parity, and certainly why not do it in the trophy. And understandably, he's very disappointed. He has been one of their best players in the Nawetan, Falu Cham, and very much disappointed. We all witnessed his emotions right here when he was substituted. But at this point of time, all he can do is to support his players and wish them well.
Well, two players have been introduced to the game, and one of them is Musa Toure, the number 7, alongside the number 14, that is Pa Modou Sarr. They are introduced for a rescue mission. Can they help their side restore parity in this game? That is Firehouse, who are trailed here by a goal to nil. The clock is gradually ticking against them, and the fans are nervously and anxiously watching, saying to themselves, can our team stage a fight back in this remaining 17 minutes of the game?
I think if they really want to come back to this game, Famara, all they need to do is they need to launch the balls into the box. They need to attack the box. You have nothing to win playing from the sides. You need to go through the middle. If you can't, they've been playing from the wings in the first half, and that has not yielded any success for them. So if they really want to go back to this game, they need to try and test at the middle, try to find more balls into the final, into the 18-yard box, try to send more men up front, and hope that they do not concede. Because it is just a matter of do or die at this moment in time. And definitely I've been very much impressed with the number 6, who got a bad tackle that resulted to the number, 3 for One Love being sent off. But he has been able to manage despite being, limping all out this, half. He's been able to manage. And likewise, the boy who was, head booted here, he was very disappointed. But to me, the substitution is more of precaution to his safety and his health condition rather than wanting to win or equalize in this game.
One Love 1. And Firehouse nil. The scoreline stays intact. Firehouse dominating. They're looking for an equalizer. Can they get it? Another disappointing cross from the new entrance, Musa Ture. We're going to witness another substitution here very soon. Firehouse are throwing a lot of players into the game for a rescue mission, but their chances are not materializing as it stands here.
Yeah. If I were the Firehouse coach, I would start taking risk gambling, taking off defenders and bringing in forward players. That is what you need right now, and particularly good crosses of the ball. And what I'm seeing, I'm suspecting that is Ablai Jallo. He was their initial preferred left back, but lost his place, and he's good crosser of the ball. And this is the typical type of players that you need. Somebody that can launch the ball into the area, and you need those that can win the ball as well. So I'm pretty sure they have told Ablai to cross the ball more often. And as at now, you need to have numbers inside the opponent area. You need to take a lot of risk as at now because, well, as you know, if you lose the final, it is all over. So sometimes you would be like, well, it is better to lose it 2-0, take the risk of trying to score and losing 2-0 rather than not taking any risk and still losing by 1-0. So I know at one point of time they will consider that, but I think as at now, more risk needs to be made. And Ablai Jallo, I know One Love knows him very well, that is the number 12. He has a very swift left foot, and they have to be very wary of his abilities. Whether it is a free kick or a crossing, he can deliver a monumental ball that can lead to something. But as of now, they have a free kick. Let's see what it leads to.
Substitution for One Love. Dasugu Farah is making way out for Amadou Jeng. The number 5 will be coming on to make things solid in the midfield perhaps. But this is a free kick to Firehouse. Ture whips it in. The wall did its job. Blocking the ball back in possession now. Ture, he came on as a substitute. 12, another substitute, Ablai Jallo for Firehouse. I think they are gradually taking the risks. You can see them, they have almost all their players inside the opposition half whenever they are attacking, except for a few players at One Love. Have a lot of numbers for defensive mission. They clears the ball out of play. In hurried Firehouse, they're not wasting any time here. Whenever they are in possession, they always try to play helter-skelter. Good defending. Clearance. And ball out of play. You can see One Love players calling for a ball back. They are definitely in hurry here, thinking of ways to find themselves back into this game. But there's still a lot of time for anything to happen in this game. We were thinking that he should be substituted, Umar Barrow, but then he's proven you wrong.
Certainly, I was calling for his substitution, but well, the Firehouse coach have won over me, because imagine if this boy was out, what would a Firehouse be? Because he wins most of his duels and he's currently carrying the team forward. So certainly I think he has struck off that injury, and he's doing very well for his team, and you never know. But this could be a chance. A penalty. Yes. That was a foul. And it seems that, well, it could be all over for Firehouse if this penalty is converted.
Firehouse hope of a comeback can be dented a huge blow in this game. They considered a penalty just with a little over 12 minutes left of normal time. Modlamin Kujabi has been penalized for a foul on Modjao Jalo of ONELOVE, and the players of ONELOVE were pulling and pushing as to who should take that penalty. Well, you can see Modjao Jalo, the player who created that penalty, trying to take responsibilities here, even though the number 6, Abdul Fattah Jallow, was actually the captain, the team captain, has shown great interest of taking that ball, that penalty. But Modjao Jallow insisted that he worked for it, and he is going to do the work, complete the work.
Penalty against Jameson, and he hopes that this time around it's going to be different.
And that's it. Firehouse hope of a comeback has been dented a blow here. They are 2-0 down. Modjao Jallow converted perfectly to make it 2-0 to ONELOVE. And the comeback is highly unlikely, Sidhu, with just 10 minutes on the clock for Firehouse to make any comeback. It's ONELOVE 2, Firehouse 0.
Well, I'm not seeing any comeback in this game as far as a 2-0 scoreline with less than 10 minutes to play is concerned. He perfectly whips the ball into the net, sending the goalkeeper the wrong way. I mean, it's quite amazing. Leading in the final, 2-0, and the other team, that is Firehouse, it's in disappointment. It's with low emotion. All their spirit, fighting for a comeback, is actually dust here. Only thing they will look out for, Famara, it will only be a consolation.
Sir, the comeback is highly unlikely. Firehouse has been handed a huge mountain to climb. It's 2-0 to ONELOVE.
Yes, as I anticipated, either a Firehouse equalizer or a second goal for ONELOVE, because at one point of time the game would open up. And Kujabi has been one of the Firehouse's best defenders. Not only in today's game, but all over the tournament. He made a huge mistake because he won the ball, attempted to make a pass instead of a clearance, intercepted by Jao. Jao burst into the area, and then there was a tangle of legs. The referee deemed that it was enough for a penalty and pointed to the spot. Well, it will be very difficult to argue against what the referee said, but Mamadou Jao Jallow missed a penalty against Jameson in their quarterfinals. So when he stepped up, understandably, others wanted to take the penalty away from him, but he insisted that he's going to take the penalty because he's a player that I think this would be his 6th or 7th goal of this Nawetan. So he would want to reach the heights of being the leading goal scorer. So certainly that is why he insisted of taking the penalty and dispatch it. And as we speak, only a miracle will prevent ONELOVE from winning their first trophy and straight away from the qualifier rounds to win a Nawetan trophy. That is what is exactly going to happen today, unless and until a miraculous comeback is staged by Firehouse.
Mamadou Jallow has shown the reason why he insisted that he should take that penalty. He converted perfectly to make it 2-0 to ONELOVE. And you can see the frustrations in the players of Firehouse. They're not actually happy with what happened in the build-up to that one. They bitterly protesting to the central referee. And the noise level from One Love supporters has reached a deafening height now. They're cheering as the game is looking a certain victory for them. One Love 2, Firehouse 0 is the score in the 2023 Banjul Norwegian League final. History is still in the making, and there are greater possibilities, there are greater likelihoods that it is going to be achieved at the end of the final whistle by One Love, who will clinch their fourth league title in the history of Banjul Norwegian. And this is a great moment for them to achieve it with a scoreline like that. We've witnessed a yellow card there. The player has been shown. Yes. The author of the first goal, Salilu Jallo, has been cautioned there for time wasting. Corner comes into the area. Header. The goalkeeper cleared it himself, then generated about it. Firehouse trying to get the ball down. But One Love are looking a bit solid at the back, defiant. The little number 7s. Figure 8 style there by the author of the second goal, Mamadou Jallo. He's equally a good player. You can see him. He has been causing a bit of trouble for the right back of Firehouse. I mean, Pa Assisi.
Well, I think I will give him the credit for the second goal. Because at first he loses it out to the defender, but he still never relaxed. He did the pressing and won the ball back, get into the box, and there, I mean, it was a clumsy challenge by the defender. It could have been, I mean, just let go. If he would have scored, let him score, but not to make matters worse for himself. He gave the ball so cheaply, gives away a clumsy, tackle. To the number 7, he's been brilliant. He saw, shown us why we come here to watch. He has been executing his skills, his talent, and his style of play. The latest of that, figure 8 style of, football is quite amazing here. So yes, the number 7 is a joy to watch.
No surprise. Some spectators pay their money to actually see footballs like this, entertaining football, the Cristiano Ronaldo style of football, the Ronaldinho style of football, the Robinho style of football, and coming back to home front, the Babukar Steve Traoré style of football, the Salilu Jallo style of football, the Pamodu Sohna style of football. I think, these are moments that actually made the game far more fascinating and exciting, seeing players trying to entertain the crowd as well.
Yes, cherishing it is. If you are leading, certainly at one point of time you need to enjoy the moments, and that is what One Love are currently doing. And Firehouse really need to be much more calmer. Anything can happen. It's a final, but anything can happen. But they need to be much more calmer than how they are playing and taking in yellow cards here and there. Just continue doing what you do best and be much aggressive on the ball, not on the opponent. And anything can happen. A moment of madness can happen. A moment of quality can happen. But you can't vent your anger by making tackles here and there, and sometimes, well, protesting a lot. Just continue doing what can get you a goal, and that is by playing football. But as of now, One Love are really playing a brilliant football, and right now the stage is set for the likes of Malik, for the likes of, let's say, Mamadou Jallo to show more of their quality. They're very, very good players, particularly Malik, who's fondly called Per, and he's well set to collect his second trophy, because 2 seasons ago, or last season, he won the Super Cup with Warriors, although he did not play in the 2019 Nawetan, but 2022 rather, he played for Warriors in the Super Cup and won it. And he's well poised to collect his first league trophy for One Love. But, well, let's see what could happen. Maybe we could have another goal in our midst. You never know. Firehouse will be going all out in order to get another goal. But can they also get One Love, inject more doubt into One Love's mind by getting a goal? Because if they get that, anything can happen. But, well, it's all poised for One Love to go home with the trophy as we speak.
Well, 2 minutes plus additional time. for One Love to start celebrations here. And 2 minutes plus added on time for Firehouse to find their way back into this game. It looks like they've run completely out of ideas as to how they can stage a fight back in this game, Firehouse Sidu.
I believe all is lost here. The time is still not over, but I'm not seeing a comeback here. The only thing that could happen is perhaps a consolation goal, which is not looking likely here. Because, I mean, this One Love side is quite an entertaining side. The number 9 who has just come newly is also giving us quite, something to watch. Likewise, the number 10 who has been so phenomenal since the beginning of this game. So yes, it is not looking likely. It is not a day for them to cheer. It is not a day for them to be on the podium celebrating. Rather, it is somehow disappointing since in the first half of this game. So they are toothless and ruthless. It's been for, One Love.
4 minutes to be added on to the regulation time here. The added on time board has been raised. And these are moments that the supporters are not actually wanting to see. They knew very well that it's looking like game over for them. That is Firehouse supporters, and for One Love supporters, they are in great hurry. They wish that the central referee can actually blow for the final whistle. And from the look of things, say it looks like a comeback is highly unlikely.
Very unlikely. I love the competitiveness of Firehouse. They're still believing. A good number of them are still believing. But sometimes it is marred by some indecisive decisions and some very, very worrying risk as well. But nonetheless, it works it. And on the other hand, One Love are all set to go home with their first ever trophy. And what a moment it's going to be for the Anglesey, Hopkinson, Hill Street faithfuls. It's been the longest while since this area of Banjul have not witnessed anything that went on to win a trophy. They had the likes of Santos. When I was a kid, this is a team that played in the Banjul Naweta, never was able to win a trophy. Is that a consolation? No, over the bar. That was a good header, but over the bar. The likes of Santos, and when we were much younger, they had a very good junior team called Tamils. They made the good days of that end of Banjul, but never had a team that was able to take a trophy to that end. The likes of Nyari Tari and Nyangasala came around that end, but never was able to take a trophy. So for the first time in their history, a trophy would be going to their end, and it's going to be a very, very monumental and marvelous jubilation. On the other hand, Firehouse should be very much disappointed, but should be proud of. Certainly should be proud of the Nawetan that they produce here, because as I said, they did not have the best of group stages. They drew their first game, drew their first 2 games, lost their 3rd game, and then rallied back to qualify from their group, qualify as the 4th place team. And from there, they went on to reach here. So fine, they would be disappointed, because once you lose the final, the other endeavors and the other sacrifices you made would not be remembered. Only the one that win the trophy would be remembered. But they can build strong. Honestly, they can build from this up and then look forward for another Nawetan, because a good number of the young players would be eligible to play for Nawetan. Some of them certainly would graduate and maybe went on to play to the league. Aliu Job and others hopefully would have more games for Banjul, for Wa Banjul, and a good number of them, Barrow, I understand, has been snapped up by Superstars Academy. Others might not be eligible, but they can build up from here. But as of now, what people need to look at is the monumental achievement that One Love have produced this season and going home with a trophy. That is the major headline of today, Farmer.
The stage is set. The fans are ready to celebrate. And a signal has been sent home that One Love are on the verge of being crowned as the league champions of the 2023 Banjul Nawetan. 2 red cards in the first half, 2 goals in this game, 1 in the first half and 1 in the second half by Salilu Jallo and Mamadou Jallo. Moment of desperation for Firehouse players. Moment of despair for Firehouse players. And you can hear from the crowd the excitement around the One Love camp. They are just waiting to jubilate their victory. They are waiting to celebrate their 4th trophy in the history of Banjul Nowetan. And they are just seconds away from that. Into the last actions now. Can Mustafa Bitte bring an end to this game? He's watching, he look at his clock. He'll allow a few seconds to be played here before he finally blows for the celebrations to begin. For One Love, who are trying to accelerate. The referee had the whistle in his mouth now. He blows. And celebrations have started here. Players and supporters rather descended on the pitch. They invade the pitch as One Love clinched their 4th trophy in the history of Banjul Nowetan. They've worked so hard for it. They scored 2 goals and they were able to seal it off. You can see the frustration in the Firehouse players. They are not happy with the officiating of the game. But finally, it's One Love 2, Firehouse 0 in the 2023 Banjul Nowetan League competition, Sidu.
It's a moment of history. It's a moment of celebration for one team that has finally laid their hands on the trophy, on the big prize, on the big money, on what is important, what all other teams have played out for in this season's Banjul Nowetan. And guess what? One Love FC have done it the exceptional way. I mean, defeating the one-time finalists, Firehouse, a team that they've met on this particular game. And guess what? They've done it in exceptional manner, in an amazing way, winning them by 2 goals to 0. But it is a game, Famara, that is never short of entertainment. It has all the things, it has all the ingredients, and it has all the condiments that makes a beautiful final, Famara.
Victory is always sweet, and defeat is hard to accept. Firehouse tried as they might, but they could not stage any fight back in this game. As One Love, for all the good reasons, sealed out a 2-0 victory in this final to be crowned champions of the 2023 Banjul Nowetan. 24 teams, ultimately a champion has been identified and a champion will be crowned. And that is going to be One Love, who sealed out a 2-0 victory. Their first scored in the first half courtesy of Salilu Jallo, and Mamadou Jallo made it 2-0 for them in the second half to ensure that a 2-0 victory is sealed, is filed and sealed. And they're going to enjoy the moments whilst they have their name written on the trophy, while they have their name written on the history, in the history books of Banjul for the first time as far as this league championship is concerned. Finally, One Love are going to be crowned the league champions of the Banjul Nowetan. The moment they've been waiting for, the moment they've worked so hard for, and the moment they've been eyeing for all the past seasons has finally arrived. They are the league champions. Well, that is the presentation of runners-up medals to Firehouse. They were not able to show any fire in today's game as they were beaten 2-0 by ONELOVE in the finals. That was some sort of disappointment for them. Firehouse, they've received their runners-up medal, and the runners-up prize will be handed to their captain. I assume it's $50,000 for the runners-up, and $70,000 for the winners. That is ONELOVE. At the beginning of the league, they dreamed for a moment like this. They work hard for it during the group stages, in the quarterfinals, in the semi-finals, and here in the finals as well. It's a dream come true for ONELOVE as they clinch their first league title in Banjul Norwayton. A moment they have been waiting for, a moment they dream of, and a moment they're actually looking forward to seeing. Victory is always sweet. They work hard for it in the game. They were very composed, they were very solid, and they were equally clinical, scoring 2 goals to clinch the title. ONELOVE are equally enjoying every moment of this final as they sought ONELOVE in the game. They poured water on the fire of Firehouse. They poured water on the Firehouse to put out every single fire that was coming out from the house. And ultimately, they are crowned and coronated as the champions of the Banjul Norwayton. They end the season in high notes, and here they are grabbing their title as the league champions of the 2023 Banjul Norwayton. A moment for them to enjoy, a moment for their supporters to enjoy, and a moment for the whole community of Banjul to enjoy, except the supporters of Firehouse, who must certainly live here in great disappointment after losing 2-0 in the final. The season ends, or the league season ends, with the league champion being handed to the league winners. ONELOVE, they've shown love, they've shown commitment, and ultimately they are rewarded with a league title and a cash prize of $70,000.
Ayo,